A tearful embrace is what you'd expect to see outside a funeral. But this is different. Heightened emotions.
Obviously nervous. I mean, my son goes to school right here.
Schools on lockdown.
Like, it was like not too loud.
A day that was already difficult.
Everybody thinking it was fireworks, but no fireworks. Everybody started running.
Now, a double tragedy.
This world is getting crazy because we got a funeral right here, then plus somebody else got shot. That's crazy.
Carlos Medina heard the gunfire from his auto repair stall across the street.
I hear like 8 or 9 shots.
Cameras from his shop captured the chilling moments. The procession had just arrived when you see a group at the top of the screen begin to run. The entire crowd scatters in moments.
Immediately following the shooting, everyone at the funeral ran in all different directions, including any suspects that were among them.
One man was killed, another in critical condition.
3 people got shot in the graveyard at the gravesite of the burial.
The body, the guy is still right there.
Family covered in dirt.
The family, poor family right there, they're crying and see all these things happen again.
Unfathomable pain amplified.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Strangers, hands gripped as hearts broke.
And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
These people died just doing their job, and life is precious, all life.
It was tragic, really, and we just wanted to pay our respects at 2:33 this week versus last week when it all happened.
And at exactly 2:33, just feet from the Capitol Gazette, those hands gripped tighter as silence overwhelmed.
Thank you.
In the shadows of those 5 crosses, the tributes,
Thank you for bringing me here.
messages, and memories live on.
When you were little, the one over there, Wendy Winters, she came and took a picture of all of us at our house on Southgate.
House in the paper. We want to bring the community together, and that's why we came, to bring counsel, to bring prayer, to bring healing.
I don't even know what word to use. Such an unbelievable crime to hit our community.
We hope that people won't forget this as time goes on, but will remember them and support the News family.
Strangers, looking for a place of healing on broken ground.
Wendy interviewed my daughter several times.
Wendy Winters wrote about humanity.
I'm so sorry for you.
For all of us. Absolutely.
Even in death, her work is still being done.
In the split moment, your whole world can change.
It's just too much.
And as strangers come together, that human experience that these journalists so often wrote about unfolds where their stories ended. In Annapolis, Joy Lambert, Fox 45 News.
Midshipman First Class Hannah Downey.
It's one of those life-defining moments
Marine pilot.
that you know is special the second it happens.
Surface warfare. Navy pilot. Naval flight officer. Marine ground.
It's been a long journey for these midshipmen.
It's not the easiest road to choose the Naval Academy above like the regular college experience, but it's so worthwhile, and this is one of the great milestones where us seniors are finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Josephine Rogers.
Name
Hayden Green.
after name.
Logan Smith.
Midshipman First Class Megan Vile from Severna Park waits for her life-changing moment.
Midshipman First Class Megan Vile.
A short walk that determines the rest of her life.
Surface warfare and a blue chip to USS Kearsarge.
Her first choice.
This is sort of the start of the rest of our lives. You know, I don't know how long I'm going to stay in the Navy, but for a lot of my classmates and maybe even myself, it'll be a lifelong career, and it starts here with this selection.
And like any life-changing day,
We did it, Fred!
a celebration. The following moments may not define their lives, but they're the moments that will be remembered. In Annapolis, Joy Lambert,
I got him eating the crayon!
Fox 45 News.
Every Sunday they come. They come for prayer. They come for healing. Healing, needed now more than ever.
I've been a priest for 24 years, always serving the Latino community, and I've never seen anything like this.
Father Bruce Lewandowski is facing a crisis.
October, November, December, there were 3 individuals, one each month.
One immigrant community, one parish, in the heart of Southeast Baltimore, haunted by suicide.
A couple times a month now, we're visiting Johns Hopkins, young people in the hospital who have attempted suicide or severe depression.
From January to this year, I took 7 people to emergency room in Bayview to receive help because they were really in risk of taking their own lives.
Sister Mercedes Castillo says it started in the fall after U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers raided cities across the country, arresting hundreds of immigrants, including 5 in Baltimore City. It started the next day with a 16-year-old boy.
Alfonso Valencia.
He was a quiet boy, very educated, but very quiet.
Very popular young man, did well in school, had a lot of friends.
His father, Enrique, doesn't speak English. Alfonso, born in the U.S., served as the bridge between his family and the outside world.
So I think that what my son was facing was all the fear, the violence he faced, and the bullying too, because there was a lot of bullying at school. And the hopeless that he faced with feeling that he cannot help me out.
A lot of pressure for a young man.
Maybe he was feeling tired of this kind of life and feeling that life didn't have sense.
Alfonso hung himself. His father found him, along with a letter.
Very hard words that really is still giving pain in my heart.
Me decía en esa carta, papá.
Father, I feel so bad.
Yo me siento tan mal en no poder ayudarte.
Because I want to be able to help you, but I feel that I can't.
Incluso no sirvo para nada.
I feel that I'm good for nothing.
Y si algún día
And
nos vemos,
if we don't see each other anymore,
recuerden que los quiero mucho.
remember that I love you.
2 weeks after Alfonso, there was another.
Yeah.
A mother of 2 children committed suicide, and then a few weeks later when a young man from El Salvador killed himself, and then it just kept going.
4 suicides in 4 months.
One case of suicide is too many cases, so 3 cases is a lot in a small community.
Monica Guerrero Vasquez is the program coordinator for Centro Sol at Johns Hopkins Medical Center. She answered when Father Bruce reached out for help.
I was absolutely shocked, especially because of the age of the individuals who died out of suicide. A teenager, young adult, so that's too young to not do something.
Now Vasquez and her team visit Sacred Heart of Jesus each month.
We have been able to get mental health professionals to come to church here and to talk to the congregation on Sundays and to talk to people after Mass to let them know that there are resources available in Spanish.
Mi mamá tuvo depresión.
Vasquez and Father Bruce believe young immigrants are in the midst of a newly unfolding national mental health crisis. Children of immigrants forced into a life they never asked for.
The fear of deportation, the fear of being separated from families, the fear of returning to places where they cannot come back. Those fears, that the uncertainty of what's going to happen to me and my family, how can you cope with that?
The stress and pressure of this what if, what if immigration comes? What if they're at the door? What if they follow us to school? What if they show up when we're shopping? What if they? I think it's a factor when we look at young people and young adults and the state of their mental health. I think we really have to pay attention to that.
Ella es trabajadora social en Bayview.
Because of the lack of resources and fear of speaking out, at this point there are no concrete numbers on young immigrant suicide.
We wanted to find data. We want to see what's out there, what's happening in the state, what's happening in the country.
We ran into the same roadblocks.
There is not enough data.
Nearly 10 years ago, the American Journal of Public Health recommended there should be increased support for immigrant families. Since then, little has been done, and the immigration debate has only become more contentious.
It's a life, it's life, right, that we're talking about. So we cannot wait to the process of data generation to happen.
The response from Johns Hopkins is already making a difference in one congregation.
In the last couple months, thanks be to God, nobody's succeeded.
I think it's important to get involved, to work together, to collaborate, and to provide the support to these families for their health, for their well-being, and for their lives.
Lives like Alfonso's, that ended too soon.
Un dolor muy fuerte.
It's a pain that I cannot describe. It's so strong.
A pain that overwhelms. And when it does,
Y a veces que
So when I feel overwhelmed of fear, I come here to receive comfort and to ask God to be always with me.
a place of solace, and a congregation working through the darkness.
We're talking about humans. We're talking about people, moms and dads and children and teenagers. We should care about people.
To find a flicker of light.
And prayer, a lot of prayer, tremendous amount of prayer.
To bring healing.